Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll walk you through how to apply for a UK dependent visa. If you're bringing your partner or children to the UK, this step-by-step guide will help make the process clearer. I've gone through the process myself, so I'll also share tips from my experience to make it easier for you. This guide is based on the process as of April 2025. Since things may change, always check the official UKVI website for the latest updates or if you have questions. Today's focus is solely on filling out the dependent visa application form. I had planned to include details like who qualifies as a dependent, visa fees, what to prepare before applying, and how to submit documents via VFS, but to keep this video short and clear, I'll cover those in upcoming videos. So stay tuned for the full series. Let's get started with today's topic, the step-by-step guide to the dependent visa application. Start by searching for Skilled Worker Dependent Visa on Google. Click the UKVI link that takes you to the Your Partner and Children section on the Skilled Worker Visa page. Scroll down to the section titled Apply from Outside the UK to begin your application. If applying from inside the UK or for a child, choose the correct link on this page. The next page asks you to select the location where you will live with your partner. After choosing your location, click Continue. Then, you'll be asked if you hold a current EU, EEA, or Swiss passport. Select option that applies to you and click Continue to proceed. Next, the page asks you to select the country where you will provide your biometrics. After selecting, click Continue. The next page asks you to check available visa application center locations. You can open the gov.uk page to select your country and view all VFS locations. Once you identify your chosen location, confirm it by ticking the box and click Continue. Then, you'll see a summary page about the dependent partner visa application for those applying from outside the UK. It includes eligibility, required documents, and information needed from your partner. After reading, click Apply Now to start your application. The first step in the application is to register an email. You need to enter your email and create a password that meets specified security criteria. Then confirm your password and proceed. After registering, you'll receive an email with a link to resume your application anytime. Use the same email and password to log back in. The application page then asks for the name of the person you're joining in the UK to link your application with theirs. Enter their first and last name as per their passport. You can click Save and Continue to proceed or return to this application later if you need more time. The link in the email lets you come back to your saved application anytime. You need to enter the nationality and date of birth of the person you're joining in the UK using their passport details. Next, the form asks if you know their passport details and requests the passport number. Then, you choose your travel timing relative to them, before, same time, or after. After that, you select your partner's current UK immigration status and provide any reference numbers like UAN, Home Office Reference, VAF, or GWF, which are usually found in the Main Applicant's visa application form. Finally, you indicate if you know your partner's visa end date. This page asks for your partner's visa end date, usually found in their visa approval letter or immigration status document, also checkable on the UKVI website. Next, it asks if your partner already has skilled worker visa permission. Then, enter your partner's sponsor license number, found on their certificate of sponsorship or visa application form. You also need to provide their 4-digit standard occupational classification code, listed in the COS or main visa application. Check the shortage occupation list if unsure. Finally, it asks if your partner is eligible for a health and care visa. Confirm eligibility honestly to avoid rejection. This page asks whether your partner's job is on the Immigration Salary List, ISL, which is a list of skilled jobs that allow a lower salary threshold for skilled worker visas. You'll then need to confirm if you have your partner's certificate of sponsorship reference number and enter it. After that, you'll provide your partner's work start and end dates exactly as shown on their COS or visa application. The application will also ask if your partner's sponsor has agreed to certify your maintenance on the COS. This means you don't have to show separate financial proof if they have. Lastly, you'll reach a review page where you can carefully check all your details and make any corrections before moving forward. The application now asks for your contact details, starting with confirming the email address you provided earlier. You can update it if needed and specify who the email belongs to, yourself or someone else. You'll also be asked if you want to add additional email addresses for contact. This is optional but useful for extra points of contact. Next, you'll choose which email address should be used for different types of communication, such as queries about your application, the final decision, and any future messages. It's best to select the email you check most often. Finally, you provide your phone number including country code, and specify whether it's a mobile number and if it can be used when you're outside the UK. This helps UKVI contact you if needed during or after your application. Next part asks if you have additional phone numbers. You can add more, specifying if each is a mobile number and whether it's used in or outside the UK. You'll be prompted to add numbers until you select No to stop. Next, you choose how UKVI can contact you by phone calls, texts, or both. Then, select your preferred contact number for UKVI to use first. This page asks for your full name exactly as shown on your passport or travel document. Enter your given name, any middle names or suffixes, and your family name using the English spelling on your passport. Click Save and continue. Next, it asks if you have ever used any other names, such as after marriage or professionally. Select Yes or No accordingly, then click Save and continue. This part of the application asks you to provide personal details exactly as they appear on your official documents. You start by selecting your sex and relationship status, which should match your passport or civil records. Next, you enter your full residential address, including street, city, and country. You'll also confirm if this is the address where you want to receive correspondence. Then, you provide how long you've lived there and your living situation, like whether you own or rent the property. You'll then need to fill in your passport details, such as the passport number, issuing authority, issue date, and expiry date, making sure everything matches exactly with the physical document. Next, the page will ask if you have a national identity card from your country. This is optional. You can add the details if you have one, or skip this by selecting No. You'll also enter your nationality, place of birth, and date of birth as shown on your passport. If you have any other nationalities or citizenships, you'll need to state that too. Then, you must provide the date you plan to arrive in the UK. This is important because your visa will only be valid from that date, and you cannot travel before it. Then, you choose your preferred spoken language for communication with UKVI, so they know how to contact you regarding your application. Next section asks you to enter your partner's details exactly as shown on their passport or travel document, including their given names, family name, date of birth, and nationality. You'll be asked if they currently live with you and whether they will travel with you to the UK. If they are already in the UK, you provide their UK address and answer accordingly. Next, you confirm if you already have permission to stay as your partner's dependent. Since you are applying for it now, select No. You will also confirm whether your last permission to stay was as the main applicant's partner. I selected No and clicked Continue. Then, you need to confirm your relationship with your partner, such as being married. After that, you'll be asked if you can provide your marriage or civil partnership certificate. If you have it, say Yes and enter the date of your marriage or civil partnership exactly as on the certificate. Finally, you indicate whether your marriage or civil partnership was arranged, answering Yes or No based on your situation. This page asks if your marriage or civil partnership was a proxy, where one or both partners weren't physically present. I selected No, as our marriage was genuine and we were both there in person during the ceremony. Next, you're asked if you and your partner have lived together continuously for the past 2 years. I chose No as my husband is working in the UK, so we've been apart. You'll need to give a short explanation for this. Then, it asks if you can provide evidence for living apart, such as a work or study document. I selected Yes because I have proof. It also asks if you can provide evidence of maintaining the relationship during separation, like chats, call records, or shared responsibilities. I chose Yes, as I can show this. You'll be asked whether you and your partner were related before becoming partners. I selected No, as we weren't related. The next page asks if you are currently married to or in a civil partnership with anyone else. I selected No. You'll also need to answer if you've been married or in a civil partnership before. I chose No. It asks the same for your partner, whether they're currently married or have been married before. I selected No for both. Then comes a question about financial dependence, such as children or elderly family members relying on you. Select the option that suits your case. Next, you'll need to give details of your parents, including their full name, date of birth, nationality. Next. This page asks if you have family in the UK besides your partner, such as parents, children, siblings, grandparents, grandchildren, your partner's family, or your child's partner. Select Yes or No. Next, it asks if you're traveling as part of an organized group, e.g. travel, sports, work, or study. I selected no. Then, it asks if you're traveling with anyone other than your partner or dependent. I selected no. You're asked if you know where you'll stay in the UK. I selected yes and entered the address. Next, it asks if you'll stay anywhere else in the UK, like hotels or employer accommodation. I selected no. Then, it asks if you've been to the UK in the last 10 years. I selected no. It also asks if you've received a UK visa in the last 10 years. I selected no. You must then indicate how many times you've visited Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, Switzerland, or EEA countries, excluding the UK, in the past 10 years. I selected 0. Next, it asks if you've visited any other countries in the past 10 years. I selected no. Next, you'll be asked if you've ever been refused a visa, denied entry, removed, deported, or banned from entering any country, including the UK. Select yes if any of these apply. I chose no. Next, there's a question about breaking UK immigration rules, for example, overstaying, working without permission, illegal entry, or giving false information. If none apply, select no. Then, you're asked whether your job needs an overseas criminal record check. Select yes if it does. I chose no. Another question checks for any criminal history, including arrests, convictions, cautions, civil judgments, or immigration penalties in the UK or abroad. You must declare even spent convictions. There are questions about involvement in war crimes, crimes against humanity, or genocide. Read the guidance carefully before answering. You'll also be asked about terrorist involvement or supporting such groups or views. Review the information and answer truthfully. I selected no. The next page asks if you've ever supported or been involved in extremist organizations or views. Again, read carefully. I chose no for both. You must then respond to questions about your character, including if you've worked for a foreign government in ways that might harm UK interests, or taken part in activities of concern. I answered no to all. Next page will ask about your employment history. Select any relevant roles, such as military, government, intelligence, or legal professions. If none apply, choose the option stating you haven't worked in those fields. There's also an optional space to add any extra information you couldn't include earlier. Leave it blank if there's nothing else. After this, you'll need to review your full application to confirm all information is correct before proceeding. You'll then confirm that you'll submit all supporting documents for your visa. These include your passport or travel document, marriage or civil partnership certificate, proof of why you and your partner lived apart, evidence of ongoing relationship, Main Applicant's UK visa or BRP copy. These documents must be submitted through VFS Global. You have two options. Upload them for free online via the VFS portal, or bring them to your VFS appointment to be scanned for a fee. I use the online VFS portal to upload documents and will explain the full upload process in a separate video. If your country requires a TB test, include the TB certificate from a UK-approved clinic as well. It must be dated within 6 months of the X-ray. I'll talk more about this in my next video. Tick all the boxes confirming that you'll provide the required documents, then click Continue. The next page is the declaration section. Once you submit it, you won't be able to make any changes to your application. If there's a mistake, you'll have to start a new application from scratch, so make sure everything is correct before proceeding. The declaration page explains visa conditions if your application is approved. Staying in the UK without permission could result in detention, prosecution, removal, fines, or a ban. You'll lose access to work, renting, benefits, free NHS care, and may lose your bank account or driving license. Tick the box confirming you understand these conditions, then proceed to submit the application. Now we have reached the payment stage. Here, you'll need to pay two things: the Immigration Health Surcharge, IHS, and the visa application fee. First, the system will automatically calculate your IHS fee based on the type of dependent visa you're applying for, whether it's for a partner or a child, and how long your partner's visa is valid for. You'll pay the IHS fee first. Once that's done, you'll move on to pay the visa application fee. I chose the standard service and completed the payment. After both payments are made, the system will take you to the Further Actions page. From here, you can go directly to the VFS Global website to begin uploading your supporting documents. You can also download a copy of your completed visa application form for your own records. I'll be covering the entire document uploading process on the VFS portal in a separate video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That's the general overview of the dependent visa application process. If you have any questions or need clarification, feel free to drop a comment, and if I know the answer, I'll definitely help you out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who might find it useful.